Hey, what's up strangers? It's your boy Diary Gorgon here, and in today's video I'm going to be basically talking about escalation. Let's just get into it. There are many different types of games. There is the games where you basically play and level up to get better stuff, and continue to be the best player in the game. And then there's the types of games that basically say, hey, you want to become the very best? Yeah, just pay literally $10 to $50 in order to basically get the most OP stuff and literally skip like 75% of the game. And that's where Live for Survival comes in. Ever since Escalation came out, people have started to pay for more Robux items and basically weapons. Meaning, well, it just becomes a pay to win game mode. So let me explain. Now, a while ago, I did make a video about basically how to escalation, and one of the things I did not make clear was how to basically escalation, aka how to basically counter on some of the waves and how to counter the brute one, the brute round. Now, one of the things I didn't really explain really clearly was the looping around the map. So in the background, you're gonna see me just running around the map, just like in a straight line or just around the map, and that's basically what I mean. Just continuously being on the move, so you can give the brute a challenge to basically chase you instead of just staying in one area, so he can use all your abilities on you, and you'll just have a difficult time going around the map. And basically constantly being on the move gives them a much more bigger challenge to chase you, so you can have the better advantage. You basically counter the brutes. That's the thing I wanted to actually explain. Now, thankfully we got that out of the way. So now I'm basically going to be talking about the escalation mode. Ever since escalation came out, literally I've been seeing 80% more players actually buying more Robux items, which I mean is good for the creators of this game. But for other people, like newbies, and especially for, of course, like experienced players, it's more or less not like a, hey look, there's some people here who have Robux items, to a, oh my goodness, literally everyone except 3 people have Robux items. Either Juggernaut, Tommy Gun, Spazzes, Double Barrels. What is going on? Which basically brings us to the problem. Escalation. Escalation caused a, I guess, problem, which was basically Escalation saying, if you don't have a Robux item, a weapon, armor, defender, you aren't getting to the brute round. Now, I say this because some of these rounds are just downright difficult for coin players. And these are hunters, riots, shamans, don't even get me started with those, and chillers. Those are by far the most difficult rounds in the game. Or technically, I don't even know if tanglers are still good in here, but I'm real sure that the machete can just counter that. But either way, those 3 to 4 rounds are basically the most difficult for coin players. And because of those rounds destroying players, newbies, and coin players, really, this causes players to be like, oh crap, to get to better stuff, to get to the higher rounds, I need to pay in order to actually do that. Screw it. And they start paying for Juggernaut armor, katanas, hams, defenders. They start paying for all that just so they can get to the brute round, which isn't even going to be guaranteed that they can make it or they can actually beat it. The problem is, because of the difficult rounds, it's causing the players from, instead of grinding and getting better at the game, to straight away going to buy the most expensive things and strongest things at a very low price, which I mean is good for the people who created this game, but for other players it just becomes super annoying and just frustrating. And especially for the newbies who just started playing this game and they see literally 80% of the population using Robux weapons, and they realize how they died on the second wave of escalation and how everybody else is literally on like the second to last wave or on the very last wave, aka the brute boss round. And they're just like, oh, so the way I have to get there to actually, like, you know, beat the brute or something like that, I need to basically pay? Yeah, that's basically it. You need to pay in order to actually get to the higher rounds. Now, this isn't necessarily guaranteed because, I mean, you could just be really good at the game, dodging and using really good weapons. But mostly, every single person is using Robux items, which at this point, escalation is continuously increasing. Ever since escalation came out, literally, I've seen more and more people use Robux items than it is basically. It's basically more common to see someone using a full Robux loadout than basically seeing someone winning the lottery at the nearest 7-Eleven. That's how common it is. I don't understand why escalation is so difficult. Probably because of the shamans, chiller rounds, and all that stuff. But really, Escalation just basically tells players, if you don't want to get to the higher rounds, don't pay Robux. But if you do, pay Robux. And that's really the only other way they can actually get there. Paying Robux so they can actually get to the higher rounds. Now, this isn't necessarily beneficial to the zombie team, because the zombie team, infected team as you could say, doesn't have any game passes apart from the fact of a juggernaut pass, and that's about it. So basically, infected are at a disadvantage mostly, unless they were to do some crazy teamwork, but really it's mostly going to be in the human favor. Because of Escalation, it just caused players to, of course, go from coin players to full-on Robux paying players in order to actually get to the final rounds. Escalation just made this problem a lot worse, and it is confirmed that some of these waves, especially the Shaman, think the Lords, are actually going to get changed. But really, for now, it just increases the percentages of seeing people using full-on Robux loadouts because of Escalation.